All right, folks, we're live on GunTube Chamber. We're live on YouTube. We're just live, period, because tonight is the makeup episode of Hit or Miss. Usually Tuesday nights, 9 o'clock. This time it's Thursday nights, 9. I know it's weird. We're doing it on a Thursday, but extenuating circumstances, dealing with family, has required me to do it today instead of Tuesday. So, with that being said, we'll talk as long as we can tonight. We'll talk about a couple things. If we go late, we'll go late. If not, we won't. We might only be doing this for half an hour. It kind of depends on what happens. But either way, we're live. So let's check and see who we got out there. We've got a bloke is pulling double duty. We got 2 Live Moo out there. We've got nobody else. So yeah, I know. It's just how it is.
Not our usual meeting time, so just give people a few minutes to jump on in or to start tuning in, and they will.
Right.
It'll happen.
It's an odd hour.
It is. Who else do we have? That's it. So let's go through the panel. We don't have a lot of people on the panel tonight because I'm sure panels are strewn out across the internet this evening. But we've got a bloke's 2 cents here. What's going on, bloke?
Hey, Mike. How you doing? Thanks for the invite, man.
I'm doing good. And we've got our unofficial co-host. We've got Travis P. Levin.
Hey, man, I appreciate the invite. I'm a little upset that you kind of stuck me up for that date that we had scheduled for Tuesday from 8 to 9, but I know family first before me, but it's okay. No, I'm just messing with you, man. Hey, guys, check out my channel, Travis P11 over on YouTube, and soon to be over there on GunTube.org, and that's about it, man. That's right. If you go over there and don't find me, I did not cause the fall of GunTube. Just want to end the rumors right now. It was just there was just some remodeling going on over there in the House of Tube, and things will get better.
GunTube is a work in progress right now. We're working on the situation to resolve it, and that's all I can say right now on that. So, what do you guys want to talk about tonight? I mean, there are plenty of things we can go over. I don't know. I really don't want to talk about what's going on in California because all I have to say on California is all their restrictive laws should have prevented the situation that happened today. So why the hell do they still have those laws?
And again, that'll just fuel the fire for them to say, well, we need even more gun laws now because look what happened. What we have ain't working and people are getting hurt. I'm kind of curious. I want to know, I really haven't even read much about this story, but do we know, did the kids that got injured, did anybody try to stop him? Did they say if there was any kind of a struggle at all, or did he run away or what? I don't want to give him credit, but the only reason I'm curious is because I always wonder, is this something that an armed teacher could have prevented or not? I don't know the details of what happened.
I don't know the
being a teacher, I'm always curious about this. It's fuel for my fire too, for my argument, for my life. So
I don't know the details either. And quite honestly, this sounds bad, but this is happening. It happens all the damn time, and the media always makes a big stink about it. But at the end of the day, really, California really has no one to blame but themselves because they have all those restrictive laws against their citizens, and this still happens because obviously all those laws in the world save lives, right?
I would argue that. No, I don't think so.
That is my point.
Yep, exactly, man.
You can have all the laws you want on the book that restricts the people to the 100th degree. But again, as everybody who has an actual brain, has a higher IQ level than 5, will tell you that, hey, criminals are going to break the law, regardless of whether you have 10 million laws in place or not. Because criminals, survey says, don't follow the law.
Well, the word crime is in their name. Yeah.
I find it ironic that, all the hard hit states with these laws of gun laws are the heaviest hit with the shootings. I mean, Chicago, California. It's just ironic. Put a gun in the teacher's hand, see what happens.
And if you just look at the millions and millions of people, and again, I don't want to just play the mental health issue, but there's a lot of people in this country, and there's a lot of people that have a lot of issues they deal with. There's a lot of people that don't get the help they need, and there's a lot of people that take meds to maintain themselves. And you're going to have that instability is going to pop up at some point, and it's going to get ugly, and it's going to result in loss of life. But you can't get away from that. What do we do? How do you stop that? I mean, there's a lot of things you can do to help people, obviously, but there's so many people in this country, and there's people that can't get the help that they need. There's people that can't afford the help that they need. This kid, he did it on his birthday. Obviously, something was not right in his life for him to do it. And I'm not going to say he justified his killing at all. What I'm saying is that there's just something that's missing at some point along the way, and people aren't getting the help that they need.
Agree. The problem, again, I've said this over and over so many times, insanity is a hard scenario. I mean, at one point in our life, in time of your life, you have gone pretty close to that, where you had a broken down situation, So again, trying to make somebody claimed insane within a matter of a week or two, it's not going to happen. That test is at least a month long, because you go in and out of emotions continuously. I mean, look at postpartum depression. 1 minute a female who's just had a child is happy as can be, and the next minute they're super depressed and hate your guts, and that's just emotions and hormones running around. So it's really difficult to contain somebody as insane.
That reminds me, aren't you going into the field of psychology?
No, I'm a therapist. No, but not.
Oh, doesn't that hit the same vein technically?
I'm an occupational therapist, but our baseline there is psychosocial. So yeah, we understand it completely.
Right. Okay. All right.
And I deal with people who have been Baker acted. I deal with people who have. Who's autistic and have breakdowns and have gone insane. I've dealt with people who've had a UTI and complete went insane. UTI stands for urinary tract infection. So there's
I know what it is. I've dealt with it more times than I want to talk about.
Well, and again, in your situation,
not me personally, but family members.
Right, and that's what I was going to say. As you get older, urinary tract infections affect people devastatingly. Right,
it happens all the damn time with old people.
Right. So, there again, trying to contain somebody as an insane because they have a urinary tract infection that can be fixed within, a week and a half from antibiotics. How can you claim that person's insane? I mean, I recently had a patient that had a severe UTI, completely went bonkers. And after the antibiotics, he was back to normal again. So it's very hard to cloud somebody that.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if we see a dozen new gun laws being introduced tomorrow in California because as a result of this,
Oh, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
Yeah. So. Ghost Shadow said, I get severely depressed every 4 years, every time the presidential campaign starts.
Oh, yeah.
We've got the resident reloader here. We've got the Armament Nexus. What's going on, A&A?
Hey, what's up, guys?
You never called me or texted me, dude.
I forgot.
I know you did.
What's up, Peppy?
Peppy. Oh boy.
Are you sure Pappy is the wording? Shouldn't it be like Grandpappy?
Well,
yeah, I am a grandfather, so
No, I'm not trying to be mean or anything. I'm just saying, being literal.
Well, when I was saying Pappy, it goes back a little while when he was asking about my mum.
He thinks I was hitting on her. I was just holding your mom, you know.
Stay away from my mom.
Yeah, stay away from my mom. Oh boy. Yeah, I have 5 grandkids, so yeah, I'm a grandpa. Hey, when you have kids before you turn 19, I mean, that's what happens. So.
That's. I hate to say this, and this is not because I'm mean or anything, but you do the deed, you gotta, deal with the fallout.
That is what it is, man. Such is life.
And this runs into another thing, because I read something on Twitter the other day that Matt mentioned, and it was basically some dude on Facebook going and saying that he believes that the community should raise children instead of himself or other parents, because quite honestly, other parents don't know how to raise their kids anyways.
Sounds like a Mormon, doesn't it?
I don't know what it sounds like, but it just sounded wrong to me. And it's like, yes, some parents are absolute idiots. I understand. Yeah, I don't have kids. I understand this entirely. Maybe at some point, Night Strike wants kids, but I've got to find the right. I got to find Mrs. Night Strike first before that happens. So, but the point is, some people just don't know how to deal with children and probably should never have children in the first place. And that's my point. If you're not prepared to have children, don't have them. And I know some people say, but it happens by mistake. No. There is no mistake. There is always a way to prevent it. It's just you didn't feel like doing the right thing.
Well,
right.
No, see, there may be preventatives, but not all of them are 100% guaranteed. I mean, even on your packaging, it says it's not 100%
abstinence
guaranteed.
is the answer.
Bloke, all I'm gonna say is you're right. You're right on that. But again, if you don't want children, don't do the deed.
Ooh.
Neither of our kids were mistakes. They weren't mistakes. They were just bad planning. Put it that way. Well, I shouldn't say this. The second one was like, well, we already got the one. We might as, we wanted to have a boy and a girl. We already had the one. It's like, well, we might as well get it out of the way now. Why wait? How many more years?
Oh my God.
So
here's my take on children, and as a therapist, it's my sole heart to take care of children as well, because we do pediatrics. But as a parent, most people, when you have children, you can't look at them as a hindrance. They're not. These are your legacy. So everything that you teach them the way you want to teach them, you got to teach them right. Otherwise, they're going to absorb the wrong way. They're sponges. They're amazing little human beings.
Absolutely. I'm just saying this because I'm tired of seeing children who have so much potential and they have such a bright future being steered the wrong way because they have idiot parents. Sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's why it bothers me. It's like, if you're not prepared to be a parent, don't have kids. That's all I'm saying. I know it sounds like I'm an awful person, and that the world just doesn't like that, Night Strike. And I go, and I'm just sitting here thinking, no, the world is exactly like that. You just don't feel like being a decent, responsible human being.
Right.
Again, I blame everything on the DVD players and the minivans. That's the fall of humanity right there for our kids. That's it. I blame it all on that. Just shut up and watch. Don't talk to me. Just shut up and watch. That's it.
Well, and I know I don't have kids, so I shouldn't be talking, and maybe I shouldn't. And
yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for preaching to you guys about it. It's just it bothers me, and I have to say something. Otherwise, if I don't say anything,
it should bother you. And what you've learned, you need to take that into consideration when you do have children. Simple as that.
I was going to say, I look back at when I grew up and how things were different, and technology has just boomed. I mean, it boomed in my my young late childhood is when it really started taking off. And then in my life, and there's kids now that they don't know what life would be like without a cell phone, and I just
You know,
two things. I think technology has done something to the society, but also Travis is right. I mean, yeah, just watch the TV. You know, that's your babysitter. You know, instead of actually, you know,
having human interaction with your child and a
Exactly.
conversation and teaching them patience and teaching them how to observe their surroundings.
Sure.
Right.
You know,
but you know, the kids are also a product of the environment that not necessarily us, but just that society's created for them. Instant gratification, technology, everyone gets a ribbon. It's just a combination of all these factors that produce the modern kid that you run into. Not every kid, but a lot of kids. You know?
That's something I was going to get at. What you just said, Travis, is, you know, how the culmination of all this, and also too, you know, now you spank your kid, they're going to call the law on you. You know, I mean, they're taking a lot of rights away from the parents to actually raise their kids the way they need to be raised. So, and a lot of them, they just, well, hey, go play your video game. You're out of sight, out of mind. You're busy. You're not getting in trouble. Which, you know, fine, video games, I don't care. But you see what I mean? It's a combination of all of it. So,
you know, my youngest child, he's 2, and he loves doing he imitates. He's in that imitation mode. So we went and bought him it's like a pretend lawnmower. So when he sees me outside lawn mowing, he gets his little lawnmower and he's lawn mowing the hardwood floor, and bubbles are coming out of it. But he's enjoying the heck out of it, you know.
So I got a question for you. Does he have the cool English dialect, the English accent going on when he speaks? Because he's going to be hit with the ladies. If you're like 6 and you're rolling that up, you're like a little James Bond, man. I mean, seriously, nobody's going to stand a chance when it comes to school dances, you know. Hello, would you like some Kool-Aid?
Right now, he's in the kissing stage. So everything he sees.
Oh, there you go. And he's got a Brit. Dude's like a little Hugh Grant, man, except without the prostitute incident. But still, yeah, you know, I mean, seriously.
Let's stay out of that area. Try and keep it.
Oh, I don't go to prostitutes ever. I don't recommend it.
Travis, PG-13, please.
Yeah, it is. I'm keeping it. I'm keeping it pretty good for 13-year-olds. Yeah,
absolutely.
PG, pretty PG.
He has his routine. He'll come say goodnight to me in my office, then he'll kiss my printer goodnight.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, but you know, he just kisses everything. Kisses the cat, the dog.
That's awesome.
You know, he's a happy little fella.
Well, I can agree with the cat and the dog, but only if they've had baths. Because if they haven't had a bath, trust me, you don't want to be kissing either animal.
I don't know. I've never given a cat a bath, but she cleans herself. And she's an indoor cat too, though.
You need your cat needs to at least have a bath once a month.
All right, next time I have a shower,
I get really good wipes for them. Just you get really good pet wipes that you can use on them that take all the pills off of them and stuff. Those work fine.
Yeah.
When I first got my cat, he was, you know, just a kitten, and he needed a bath. Trust me. And you know, I used to bathe him, but he got to a certain point. It was like, well, you want to bleed? You're going to bleed. And they weren't just little scratches, man. I mean, almost stitch-wise scratches. So,
dang, man.
Yeah.
Before I lost my cat, he didn't like baths, but again, you know, he didn't argue with me when I went and gave him a bath. He just cried and cried and cried. He's like, I don't like this. I don't like this.
Mm-hmm. So I just found out that our cat it's a little overweight, and we couldn't figure out why, because we cut down his food, what the recommendation was. Come to find out, when we put the dog to bed, the cat's eating the dog's food too.
Now, are you buying the same brand? Are you getting like Science Diet, cat and dog food? Because a lot of times they smell and look about the same.
Yeah, we use Blue Buffalo for the dog and the cat. So
yeah, I mean, that could be part of it. There might not be a lot of difference in the core ingredients between the two.
Absolutely.
That might be it.
So we had to put a cover over it, and now that I've lost a lid for one of my pans because it's the dog food cover now.
Oh, you wait. The cat will figure out how to move that lid or do something.
Oh,
cats are, man, there's a will, there's a way with a cat.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Bloke. In a couple weeks, a company from China will contact you asking for a product review of of their pet products,
of their pet cat,
their pet supplies. Yeah.
Send me all you want. I'll review it.
There you go.
After my YouTube channel gets deleted from all these changes, I'm going to go into pets.
Just start over with the pet channel.
Pet channel. Cute and cuddly.
There you go.
All right. So before we got off on the tangent and whatnot, let's go back to focus. What else do you guys want to talk about this evening? Any other things going on in the gun world that you want to talk about that maybe is grinds your gears other than California, because California deserved what they got because they've already been restrictive enough for people?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about California anymore.
Yeah, no one wants to talk about it.
How about YouTube? I mean, we touched on it a little bit before chat. I think that's important.
Yeah. So I don't know if anyone has realized out there, but YouTube has put some really, really heavy policies. They've redone their entire privacy policy, and they've really, really kind of stuck it to people. I posted a thing on Twitter a while back, but I'll share this again because it does have me worried, because maybe some small gun channels or some small hobbyist channels not pertaining to firearms at all, but just kind of like some like Travis, people who like to play with breadboards and computer electronics, just as a hobby, and they put videos of it on YouTube. If those videos don't get enough traction and aren't commercially viable, they're going to get deleted and the channel's going to get removed.
Yeah, my B channel does make the AdSense threshold every month, but I got lucky because I got a couple Google Sites videos.
Okay, I don't know if we can see this now. Okay, yeah, we can see it. And this is what I'm talking about, because it says here, and I'll read it for everyone. Terminations by YouTube for service changes. YouTube may terminate your access or your Google account's access to all or part of the service if YouTube believes in its sole discretion, which YouTube, it's up to YouTube to decide this, so they can decide it on anyone really, that provision of the service to you is no longer commercially viable.
Let me ask you this. How is anybody supposed to start a channel then because you're not going to have, commercial, you're not going to get monetized right off the bat. How are you even supposed to start a channel if they're going to say, oh, you're not, revenue, you're out of here.
Well, A&A, think big picture. They can say an entire segment of videos are not generating the revenue they'd expect, i.e. gun videos, and they could say we're going to whittle off the bottom 90% of channels, only keep the top 10% because that's what's economically viable, and then we'll go bye-bye and we're just left with Hickok and Racky Veteran and Mac, and those channels are great, don't get me wrong, but that just gives them the leverage they need to boot everybody out if it's a segment that's not generating enough revenue for them,
I'm talking to the channel. What I mean?
My question is, what do they consider viable? I mean, what is it? Is it followers? Is it how many hits you're getting? Because I mean, to me, anybody under say 1,000, I mean, that's including me too. Your history. I mean,
yeah, they could use that as an excuse to get rid of any channel they don't like. If there's an up-and-coming channel that they don't like because of that channel's agenda. Exactly. They just say, well, it's not economically viable. We had to delete it. And then you get it. You're going to argue it. Are you even going to try? Or are you just going to I'll tell you right now, if my channel gets shut down, I probably won't restart a gun channel on YouTube at all. I'm not even going to bother. I mean, I've got the videos all backed up, ready to go. I can bring them all back up, but I don't know if I want to start over again under their terms of service and try to individually curate and whittle down my videos to ones that I can actually show. It's not worth my time. Now, life's too short. I'll just go upload my videos on a different platform or medium, and that's just – I know you say, well, yeah, but YouTube's got that reach. YouTube is where it's at. You're not going to get the visibility anywhere else. You're not going to get it anyway unless you fit their criteria for a gun video.
Well, see, I think what will happen if they start doing that and getting rid of all the, the lower people, say, 2,000 and below, those 2,000 and below are going to have to find another platform. So I think the majority will go to other platforms.
Well, you have a lot of people who are just going to give up and not even want to try. Yeah. There's a lot of people that don't even start channels because monetization takes so much work now to get there There's a lot of people that just give up and say, there's no way I'm going to get 1,000 subs in 4,000 hours and try to build my channel and this and that so I can monetize. Really, a lot of people will just give up. So,
I mean, I just got monetization back. And when I mean monetization back, I'm not trying to say that, you know, I like monetization, but I had monetization before YouTube decided to play and screw around with it and mess it up the first time and the second time. And now I've gotten it back because I finally meet the criteria again because of over 1,000 subscribers and whatnot. I redid all my videos and everything. And now I've got super chats and monetization. But again, you know, don't fool yourself. Even if you have 1,000 subscribers, even if you got 2,000 subscribers, even if you have, like, you know, anything under like 5,000 or 10,000 subscribers, you're not going to make anything on monetization. It's just not going to work. You're not going to get anything out of it. So,
my son, he'll climb a while, JB. He got monetized like way back before they raised all the, you know.
So did I.
But he's only, I don't know if he's hit 2,000 subs. I think maybe. I'd have to look, but he don't get hardly anything, you know. And I don't know how many videos, but he gets a check every now and then for $30-$40, if that. And it's yeah.
So, but again, this all, you know, and the reason why we're talking about YouTube monetization is because it all plays into this policy. And that excerpt I showed you is from the new privacy policy that YouTube has posted. And basically, it means, like, if they can't make enough money off of commercials on your YouTube channel, then they reserve the right to remove your YouTube channel and delete your shit.
Yeah.
So, and I hate to say it like that. And maybe I should have said it, you know, delete your channel. But again, you know, there are a lot of smaller channels. Yes, they may not have like thousands of subscribers, but they may only have hundreds of subscribers. But the issue is they work hard on their channel. They're just not going viral because of maybe the content isn't as popular as, like, say, you know, dogs or kitty cats.
Right.
And it's wrong. It's kind of wrong to say, oh, hey, YouTube, our motto is express yourself. Well, now it's we reserve the right to let you have a channel to express yourself.
Yeah. It's express yourself if it falls within what we think is right.
Express yourself if we can make money off of you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, again, if they delete me, I'm not even going to bother trying again. So.
Oh no. I mean, I might start up another channel just to be able to do chats, just to have an account. Like if my account gets totally shut down, I'll just fire up one of my other alternate accounts and maybe post a couple videos on it, and then that's it, just to have a presence. But yeah.
Yep. But no. Again, we've got some of the Hunons are out there in the chat, and I am sure that Hank Strange appreciates all the Hunon support that they give him. So, you know, thank the Hunons for being out there.
Of course he does. It buys his Audis. Why wouldn't you be happy about that?
Right. And they're out in the chat. They're talking about some larger channels that they don't like. You know? But again, we're just going over this because this stuff has happened lately, and we have to talk about it. Also, I do want to mention this. We're coming away from the commercial viable part of the YouTube side to another side of the privacy policy that they've also put in place. Okay, now here's something. You guys, if you do videos on YouTube, if you even only have a couple videos because, you know, you're not really doing a YouTube channel, but you're just kind of uploading a couple videos to share with friends or family, you need to be aware of this. Okay? If you don't have your videos set to either for children or not suitable for children, and if you don't have any of those options set on any of your videos, including your live streams, because your live streams are separate from your uploads, okay? If you don't have those options ticked, YouTube may start deleting your videos or your channels because you haven't set that up. It's also in the privacy policy. I've gotten several emails about it from YouTube already. I've gone through today and redid my entire channel just to have all those options set. But again, I just want you guys to be aware that you need to make sure you have the audience set on your videos. And if you don't, then you may have issues with YouTube because eventually they may delete your stuff.
Yeah, why didn't you show the people how to do that?
I don't want people to see the back end.
Oh.
Get me.
Something else I noticed too is not only that, but you also, when you go into advanced settings, those you that put videos up, you can click on a spot where it says the video is appropriate for people that are
all right,
up or 18 and below. And the thing is, no, listen. If you choose 18 on up, it says we may not be able to monetize your videos. It says your videos may automatically get flagged for limited or no ads because of the limited access that audience now has. So they're just setting you up. I don't know what kind of videos are even you're gonna get Lolly Dolly, My Little Pony, and that's basically all you're gonna see on YouTube in the future if that's the situation.
Yeah. All right, so here's some videos that I'm working on. Basically, what you have to do is you have to select the videos, and once you do, you click this right here. It's got the whole entire page of videos to select. But if you have tons of videos, you want to left click on select all. Okay. Now all the videos on the uploads part of your YouTube channel are selected. You need to go down to edit. Right here it says audience. And here is the situation. No, it's not made for kids. Okay. And then down here, you can set, yes, restrict my videos to viewers of over 18, or no, don't restrict my viewers. But you have to have these options set. You cannot not have these options set. Otherwise, you will get in trouble.
Yeah. You can also set your channel, and that probably changes the settings of all the videos.
My videos are not made for children. Okay? But again, that does not mean that I still don't want, high school age children or high school age kids to, check the videos, because some of the information we've got, they may want to use for government class, because we talk about a lot of laws and a lot of states' rights and whatnot. That could be beneficial. Granted, I know we kind of have crass language, and I understand that. I've been trying to step back on that a little bit, not because I don't like dropping bombs here and there, but the issue is I do kind of want to, clean up hit or miss just a little bit on that. But again, basically all you have to do is click update videos after you have set these options, and it'll do, yes, I understand the implications of this action, and then you just update all your videos. And now it's going to do that to all the videos.
I like your 1K subscriber giveaway preview. They already hit you with, or that one video up there at the top. They already got you limited or no ads. It's not even public yet.
It's not even public yet.
I know. Isn't that great when they do that? Yeah. What a kick to the head, man.
Yeah. So, well, what I was going to say, even if you do go in and set your age restrictions, it's.
This is the video I have yet to release. So preview. I'm working on it right now. I'm working on my website, redoing my website a little bit so that everything's set up, and it'll probably go live this weekend. So there you go. We're done screen sharing that. We're done on that. So, but again, we have to talk about this stuff because this stuff is. If you do use stuff on YouTube, you got to know what's going on. And I know we're talking. I know we're talking about YouTube stuff and not primarily gun stuff, but unfortunately, we have to learn how to, work within the means of YouTube. So, I'm sorry, guys.
Kind of like new gun laws they keep bringing out. You got to work within it. It's the same thing. It's more restriction. No, what I was going to say is what happens. It really is. What happens if you go in and say, "Hey, my stuff's appropriate for everybody"? Just because we're shooting guns in this video doesn't mean
it's appropriate.
Yeah, you see what I mean? If we're not swearing, if we're not doing something stupid, if we're being totally safe about what we're doing, and we're proper firearms handling, and why isn't that appropriate for kids?
I know. Hey, man, you're preaching to the choir. You are preaching to the choir.
That's what I'm saying. Even if we did go in and set it that way, they could still come back and go, "Oh no, it's not appropriate for kids." What? Wait a minute! I was shooting guns when I was, 8 years old. What?
Bro, sole discretion, bro. Sole discretion. Yep. There you go.
Mm-hmm. Zeke even said himself, even if you set the option to 18 and older, you still need to select the option for kids or not. Seems dumb, but that is what the FTC is making YouTube do. So it's the FTC's cracking down on YouTube that is prompting this. But if you don't set these options, you can lose your videos or your entire channel. So we have to let people know about this stuff because we're still using this stuff. All right?
And that's how they get us with the FTC.
So we're going to move on from this and go to another topic real quick. Something simple. Let's see. Which one do I want to go after? I don't want to talk about that one. I talked about that one last night. Here's an interesting topic. The Department of Justice announces Project Guardian to reduce gun violence by enforcing existing laws. Who would have thought?
Oh, wow. Man, somebody just had a mind blower there, didn't they?
What are we paying them for? What are we paying them for if they're not enforcing existing laws?
Here's what it's saying. The article that I am reading is from The Truth About Guns. Project Guardian will emphasize background checks, federal prosecutions to reduce firearm-related crimes, rather than enacting more gun control laws. Attorney General William Barr announced a new initiative Wednesday that would better enforce the U.S. gun background check system, coordinate state and federal gun cases, and ensure prosecutors quickly update databases to show when a defendant can't possess a firearm because of mental health issues. And again, I know this slippery slope with the mental health issues, but there are some people that are absolutely insane that shouldn't get firearms, that do, and that go and do awful things because, one, they're dumbasses, two, they really need help. And that's all I'm going to say on that. Right? The push known as Project Guardian was being unveiled at a news conference in Memphis, Tennessee, alongside officials from the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. On the same day, public impeachment hearings against President Donald Trump, began in Washington, and they still haven't. They're still going on with that impeachment thing. It's ridiculous. But anyways, as part of the program, U.S. prosecutors will coordinate with state and local law enforcement officials to consider potential federal charges when a suspect is arrested for weapons possession, is believed to have used a gun to commit a violent crime or drug trafficking offense, or is suspected of being a violent gang member. Shocker! There's a quote from gun crime remains a pervasive problem in too many communities across America, William Barr said in a statement. The program will strengthen our efforts to reduce gun violence by allowing the federal government and our state and local partners to better target offenders who use guns in crimes and those who try to buy guns illegally, Barr said. And when we're talking illegally, we really mean they really mean people who are already criminals that go and submit 4473s, or people who are on the list that shouldn't be able to buy guns. It's supposed to go after people who are, using those illegally using those forms anyways. So hopefully it'll work. But again, the initiative requires agents in charge of the ATF offices across the country to either create new guidelines or review protocols already in place to bring federal charges against people who lie in order to obtain a gun from a firearms dealer. Prosecutors will particularly focus on offenders who have violent backgrounds, are gang members, or who have faced domestic violence charges. U.S. attorneys' offices would also be required to quickly input information about people who can't own guns for mental health reasons into the federal databases. Well, I don't like that, but they are enforcing laws already on the books instead of making new ones. So,
no, I was gonna, what you're saying.
I'm not done. I'm not done yet. But
okay,
I'm commenting. I'm sorry, guys. It's just when I read something, I have to make a comment right away instead of after the fact.
Encore.
So anyways, the Attorney General is also encouraging U.S. attorneys across the country to adopt programs that could help disrupt potential threats and consider recommending court-ordered mental health treatment in some cases for defendants found to be ineligible to own firearms for mental health reasons. Now, if they are recommending court-ordered mental health treatment for people that have mental health issues, I'm not against that. That's good. It's getting more people, getting people, help that need it is there. I don't see anything wrong with that. Yeah, I know. I realize that it may come. We may have to pay for it eventually, either as a tax or something. But again, getting people help that aren't able to get help themselves or don't get that help that they need, that's a good thing. So I see that as a positive. The federal government has come under scrutiny in recent years for failing to prevent some mass shooters from buying guns because of lapses in the background check system. In 2018, there were more than 26 million background checks conducted, and fewer than 100,000 people failed. The vast majority were for a criminal conviction, and just over 6,000 were rejected for a mental health issue. Federal law defines 9 categories that would prohibit someone from being legally allowed to own or possess a firearm. They include being convicted of a felony charge or a misdemeanor domestic violence, being subject to a restraining order or active warrants, being dishonorably discharged from the military. That one's a no-brainer. That already shows that you have mental health issues. If the military says we can't use you and you are broken, and they dishonorably discharge you, you have a mental health issue already. And some people are going to say, Night Strike, that's not always the case. That may not always be the case. But 9 chances out of 10, as we've seen lately, it's the case. Being addicted to drugs, renouncing your U.S. citizenship or being in the country illegally, or being involuntarily committed to a mental health institution, or being found by a court to be a mental defective. So, mental health issues. There we go. They talk about the Church of Charleston in 2015. I don't want to give that guy any notoriety, so we won't talk about that. And then they mentioned the Church of Texas too, because those 2 people, got pushed through the system, took advantage of the system and were able to get guns that shouldn't have. But again, I don't want to, go on that. But again, the new program will also help to enhance ATF's crime gun intelligence efforts, which the agency uses to identify and target criminals and identify where they obtained their guns. Agents will work alongside prosecutors to cut the pipeline of crime guns from those violent individuals who seek to terrorize our communities, said Regina Lombardo, ATS acting deputy director. So, again, yeah, I didn't read the parts where they're talking about certain individuals who committed, heinous crimes, and they were able to get their guns illegally because they weren't stopped. But again, they weren't stopped by the system. So the whole idea of this initiative is to enforce existing laws and make sure people don't slip through the cracks that could do something wrong and hurt people. That's really all it is. Enforcing laws is already on the books and making sure the actual criminals go and get punished as well as, people who need help get help. I mean, as far as I can see from this, it's not a bad thing. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Guys, go ahead. Knock yourselves out.
Could it be more red tape for the average gun buyer, more delays for people, or more having to justify? I mean, could you be looking at more people get denials because of false flags? Well, I don't think we need any of the laws and rules anyway, because
I mean,
I don't. You got a common name. That's the biggest one. What I see people run into is if they have a common name.
I googled my name and could not believe how many have the same name.
Now, I'm gonna say this, and not everyone will agree with me out there, and I understand that you're not going to always agree with everyone. But I'm going to have to say this because I've bought plenty of firearms, okay, and on the 4473, it says it's optional to put your Social Security number. And I understand that some people don't want to put their Social Security number because they want to be protected from this and that and whatnot. But the issue I'm going to tell you is you're giving it to the government. The government already has your Social Security number. They're the institution that issued it to you in the first place. So while, yes, it's optional to put on the form, but in order for them to specifically identify if you're the right person or not, putting it on there can help. Yes, I know some people don't like to do it. I know people are worried about this and that. But again, the whole point of the 4473 is to identify you as a person and identify of which whether you're a criminal or an upstanding citizen. I know it sounds crazy. I know it does not sound right. But more times than not, you'll get a proceed each and every time if you put the number down there and they give it to the government.
The last few guns I bought through a FFL, the one time it says optional. It's like, no, I'm not going to put it down. The guy told me, he says, you better put it down. It'll just get denied. I went, oh, so why does it say optional? He says, I don't know.
In fact, I tried doing that too, and they called up to ask him for my Social Security number while I was waiting.
Mm-hmm.
So I gave it to him.
No, I think this is a good idea to some aspect about.
I know. I have to mention. I had to say that because G-Webs doesn't like the idea of people putting their Social Security number on the 4473. Yes, it's optional, but the issue is, as I said before, it's to identify who you are as opposed to who a criminal is. Okay?
Well, the thing is too is they took. It used to be on your driver's license, and I guess they ruled that number can't be used to identify you, but yet we're still using it on the 4473 to identify you. Oh, okay, whatever.
I mean, even though I don't need to, put it on my 4473s. I always put it on my 4473s because even though I have a concealed weapons permit in South Carolina, and they're not required to they're not required to send the 4473 in. I'm not going to take any chances. I'm just going to input all the information I need to, and it's on their end. Be done with it. Because I live in a state where if you have a CWP, you don't need to have they don't need to call the government to ask for permission.
Well, there's a lawsuit going on here in Florida about that because I have a COP and they're doing government background checks for every firearm that's in a.
I think Ohio just passed that where if you present your concealed carry permit that you don't have to go through all that. But I know the last firearm I bought was right before that went into effect, so I haven't tried to purchase anything since then to see how it all works.
But again, I just figured we should talk about this because it's one of those things that we need to mention it. I know it sounds ridiculous and you shouldn't have to do it, but hey, guess what? That's life. I don't want to have a concealed weapons permit to be able to carry a firearm, but my state requires it. Lots of states require it. Some states have, constitutional carry. That's great. I don't have it.
Nope, nor do we. Unless you're going fishing or hunting.
We have
and even then, people have proven that even if you're going fishing or hunting in Miami, trying to get open carry, you still get arrested regardless.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. We have it here in Ohio, and a lot of times, for the most part, depending, small town, blah blah blah. But it all depends on where you go, what you're doing. Somebody's going to go, oh my, I feel threatened or something, and blah. There you go. So yeah. No, getting back to the thing that you were talking about, enforcing the laws and everything, and I've been saying it for years. They pass all these laws. Remember the 3 strikes you're out? That didn't last long. There's how many criminals that have done things 10 times and they just bounce them in, bounce them out, send them to prison for 6, 8 months or 10 months. They're out. They go out and do it again. What happened to that? The other thing that I wanted to comment too is one of the things, you were talking about the gangs and everything. One of the things that just irked the crap out of me was, the Democrats are wanting this red flag laws, but they're not going to enforce them on gang members. I'm thinking, wouldn't that be the first place you would go? But they're probably afraid they're going to need an army to enforce them. Well, you want to stop some crime? That's where you start.
Yeah, Rob D, NY Outcast is saying 3 strikes, what a joke. Yeah, it was. It was.
Yeah. We thought, oh man, if this passes, it's gonna, and they've done nothing with it. It was a joke, and it's like a lot of the other laws. It's like they don't enforce the laws on the books. What do we need another law for? You're not enforcing these. The only laws that you want to enforce are the ones that are going to restrict law-abiding citizens from their rights. Yeah.
And, I hate to leave on a bad note, but we're going to have to talk about this because I saw this and it pissed me off, but I wasn't surprised because of where it's happening. But in Tacoma, Washington, they instituted a gun tax, of which it will add $25 to all firearms purchases, and it will also add 2 cents per round to ammunition purchases that are .22 caliber or less, and add 5 cents per round to all other ammunition.
Jesus, man!
Wow,
it's $2.50 a box right there, right off the top, for a box of 50.
Yeah.
This is in the city of Tacoma in the state of Washington, where Seattle already does that.
What
how
about
much is that on a case of 1,000? I can't even do the math on that.
I don't want to.
What about reloading components? Are they taxing them like that?
I mean, say you wanted to get 1,000 rounds of 5.56, okay? 1,000 times, what was it, 5 cents?
0.05.
0.05. That's $50. That's $50 on top of however much it costs. So,
and the sales tax you already have to pay on it.
Say if you're getting Tula, it's 1,000 rounds is what, $100?
Of 223.
Yeah, 223 Tula.
Tula's what, right around $5 a box.
Yeah, no, yeah, you're probably looking at probably 179 or probably close to 200 for a box of 1,000.
Right. So add $50 onto that, 250 instead of 200.
And what do they intend to do with these taxes?
What does a Democrat do with taxes?
Well, they waste them. They waste them. Now, if they
waste them or pocket them, more or less.
If they were taking that tax to, put into law enforcement and enforcing laws on the books and getting criminals off the street, but they're not going to do that. All that is a tax to keep law-abiding citizens from being able to afford anything.
Mm-hmm.
Simple as that.
Yeah, apparently Ghost Shadow saying at Night Strike, guy in Spokane, Washington, has been sitting in jail for over 30 months being charged 3 strike because he had robbed a bank in 1972, totally clean since then. Well, he robbed a bank in 72. Has he been in jail since that time for all those years? Well, if he has, then shit. That sucks. But anyways, we're done here, guys. I don't want to talk about any more depressing or any more good, bad, or anything. I'm done. I just can't handle it.
Well, let's talk about something fun then.
Yeah.
What's the next gun we're gonna buy?
I don't know. The list is long.
I gotta sell my fire. I have to sell firearms to fund, some
New
projects.
Oh,
Not to fund new ones, to fund existing projects.
you've done that too much. You've done that too much. I know you've had to sell one or two to. Yeah.
So I have to sell. I'm selling an AR-15, the 20-inch, and I'm probably selling the 229 DAC, and I don't want to sell that one. I love that one. I also love my P320, but I carry the P320, so I'm not selling that one. But I'm going to have to sell the DAC.
What's the DAC?
That's the funky double action trigger SIG 229.
Oh,
and here's the thing: I like it. I like the 229 DAC.
Yeah, there's something you can get used to it. Yeah,
it's one of my favorite.
It feels exactly like the 320 technically.
Yep, it's at my bedside.
now is the 320 DA only?
It's double action, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I've never handled one, so I don't know.
But I love shooting the 320. I mean shooting it, doing target practice and whatnot. I don't mean going out and just shooting it willy nilly. I don't do that. No, I mean going and taking it to the range and shooting targets. I like that gun. It shoots perfectly. But again, I have to go and I have.
All I can say is this, brother. I wish I owned all the guns I've owned in my life, and I don't know how many of them I've had to sell to survive or to pay bills or, well, that's survival. But you know what I'm saying.
It just sucks that
I wish I owned all the guns. So.
It sucks that I have to sell any firearms. Just the other day, a while, not the other day, but a while back, I joined the Grand Collectors Association because I wanted to be in a club of which I could actually buy like a CMP Grand, but Garand, I guess. Garand. But that's not going to happen because, hey, guess what? I have to sell firearms right now.
Yeah.
So
that sucks. Yeah, it honestly, like I said, I've sold so many over the years, and of course some I bought, tried them, and I'm going to trade this for something else or something like that. But the guns that you bought and you kept and you really liked, and then you go, well, I got X amount of bills, or I got this to take care of, I got to pay this, and what's the next, the least that you want to get rid of that'll bring you the most, you know what I mean? And it's sad. One of my favorite guns I had was a single shot New England Firearms 22-250. Probably heard me talk about it. We called it the laser gun because shooting groundhogs in the eye at 250 yards was just common. That was just easy because it was that flat shooting. I miss that gun. I didn't get that much out of it when I sold it, but I had to sell it because I had bills to pay. I went through a divorce. You know what I mean? It's like you do what you got to do. So, and there was a time when I only had two guns. That was my Mac 90 and my Para Ordnance 1911 build that I've kept those since way back when. Those were the two that never went anywhere. Since then, I've had to rebuild my guns, rebuild my guns supply or whatever you want to add, but a collection. There we go. But it just, man, that bites.
So has anybody, I'm going to ask the question out there, has anybody sold a firearm they needed the money to pay a bill or something came along that they had to pay for that they weren't expecting?
I did
have not. No, I have not. I've sold one to buy another one.
Well, that works too. But
when I had a Smith & Wesson SW99, which is what like the Canik TP9 SF is loosely based on, and they also had the Walther like P99 that came out. So it was one of the James Bond guns. Anyway, I was getting ready to graduate college, And I didn't have a lot of money at the end of the year. I didn't have any roommates, and I was only I was student teaching, and I was also working 30 hours a week at a grocery store trying to get by. And I went to go for my graduation. I filed all my paperwork and stuff to graduate. And they're like, oh, well, it's going to be about a $200 graduation fee. I go, what? I'm like, for what? Well, we have to fill out the paperwork on your diploma. We have to order your cap and gown. I'm like, what have I been paying tuition for? And I didn't have hardly anything at that point at the end of school. I mean, I was already ready to go get a summer job and stuff. And so in order to graduate college, I ended up selling the SW99. I had a Glock G20 also, so I didn't necessarily need the SW99, but I ended up selling it to what would have been Shields Sporting Goods store back in the day. I think I bought it for $600 or $650 and sold it for like $400. So that was, it sucked, but I mean, I had to do it in order to graduate. I didn't have an extra $200 at that point. So, and that was back in the late 90s. So it was a decent amount of money now, but yeah.
All right. A&A, what about you?
Yeah, like I said, I've had to sell a lot of guns to pay bills, and what was it, last year I had to sell one I really didn't want to, but I had a bill to pay, and it is what it is. What are you going to do? Travis, I could say to you, well, you had to sell that to graduate college, but look where your college degree has gotten you, and you've now since rebuilt.
Yeah. I mean, I could easily go back and buy one of those if I wanted to. And honestly, I didn't. I was more sold on it being a James Bond gun than I was. The actual shooting experience of that gun is weird. If you ever watch the Canik TP9 SF video, it's got an odd trigger to it and a weird decocker up on the top. And or no, it's not the SF. It's the TP9 SA or whatever they call it, the one with the button on the top. That was basically a clone of the SW99.
All right, so let's go over this. All right, let's see who on the side chat and YouTube chat. Ghost Shadow says, "I had to sell my AMT hardballer long slide to buy a new engine for my car."
Oh damn!
Oh man!
That's Terminator long slide. I remember seeing those go through our gun store. I always wanted one. I don't know why. I always wanted one.
Arson Tony said, my Arsenal AK funded 2afund.com. Oh, hey, you did something good with it.
There you go.
So Tennessee Gun Guy says he sure has. He hadn't stated what. Don Lemon made me smell his finger says, I didn't sell one for unexpected bill, but I did pawn one. Yeah, sometimes you got to do that too. Ghost Shadow says, at Night Strike, had to sell one of my Automax. Guy forced me into it. He offered me $5,000 cash.
Wow.
Well, I think you might have gotten a deal there.
Dude,
I'm not sure.
That sucks when that happens. Doesn't that just suck every time that happens?
It does. It does. It's a tragedy.
God, I'll tell you what, man.
It is a tragedy.
Honestly, you think about it, it's like, what you got, and somebody offers you that kind of money, and you go, I really don't want to part with it, but man, I can't pass that up.
Yeah.
So,
Ghost Shot. NY Outcast says times get rough over the winter for me. That's when I sold it. That sucks, man. Arson Tony also says sold my CZ52 to go to NRA 2 years ago. Oh man, well, that's a sacrifice right there.
Wayne LaPierre thanks you.
Yeah,
I guess.
Sorry, man. I had to be a dick. All right.
You are indeed a dick. So there you go.
Well, I was just going to say that you got to look at something, and my gun collection is not that large right now. It's barely double digits, but
same here.
But you got to look at in certain things. You can buy just for fun, and why not? I want one of these, but you still keep your key essentials. Like I said, this was before I ever had an AR. I kept my Mac 90, my AK, and I kept my 45. I had my sidearm and my main rifle, or my main gun. But you got to look at firearms as assets, especially if you get into collecting. I have a friend of mine that buys and sells, but he is a collector to an extent, but he knows a good deal, and he buys low and sells high. So you see what I mean? If you look at your firearms as assets, it's just like anything else that will retain its value. So And sometimes, unfortunately, you got to turn that value into cash. So,
yeah, unfortunately. So,
unfortunately.
But I just figured, I'd mention it because the project I'm specifically mentioning is I have to get more licenses for GunTube's software, and yeah, it's expensive. So I'm selling my rifles for GunTube. I'm selling my handguns for GunTube. That's the project. So, hey, got to do it. It's got to happen. There we go. All right. With that, I think we're gonna call it. We've had some good discussions. We've had some interesting comments out there. So we're gonna go through the room, let everyone give us their outro, and we're gonna skedaddle. So, Bloke, you're up first. What do you want to say?
Oh, well, thanks for the invite. It's been a while since I've been on here. You're more than welcome to check out my channel. I used to have one on GunTube. I don't have one anymore.
You still have one on GunTube. I'm just not done with it, all right?
But I am on a lot of other platforms, and I appreciate everybody. Check everybody out. You've got good content here. Thanks for the invite, bud.
All right. A&A?
Not a whole lot. Thanks for the invite, of course. Always fun coming and hanging out with you guys. Good to see you, Bloke. Haven't been in a chat in a minute or two with you. I was in one the other night with Travis. I don't know what channel it was. It might have been Sandy's. I don't know. But
yeah. I apologize. It's just been super busy with grad school, so it's winding down on that.
Life's busy. How's that going? Are you almost done?
So my didactics, my schoolwork, that is, I'll be done in the middle of December, and then January I've got 6 months. This is going to be hard. So in the medical field, you got to do clinicals, and you don't get paid for that unless you're a resident, like a doctor.
Right.
So I got to work for free for 6 months.
Ouch.
Yeah.
That sounds a lot like student teaching.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah.
I've been there, done that. Yeah, not fun, bro.
I hear you.
But anyway, yeah, of course, check us out on YouTube. We're on Gunstreamer. I do have a Facebook page. I have Twitter and Instagram I don't do much with, but other than that, yeah, just life. But anyway, yeah, like I said, thanks. It was good hanging out with you guys. Peace to all. Stay 2A strong.
All right. So, Travis, what's going on?
Man, guys, make sure you check out my channel, Travis P11. Let's see. Just got all kinds of content out there. Check out Caliber Corner Monday night, 6 o'clock Central Time, 7 o'clock East Coast Time, a little firearms-related podcast that we host. Monday, we're going to talk about 45 Raptor, 50 Beowulf, and begin the going down the rabbit hole of the 6.5 Creedmoor. So it should be exciting.
All right. So with that, everyone, we will see you next time. Keep a lookout for the video I'm going to make public soon that is not monetized right now because YouTube says they can't monetize it. Check out the giveaway. Check out GunTube.org. Check out, I guess, if you want to, support my fight against e-becking, check out Patreon. Yes, I stole that from Obnoxious One because what the hell. And with that, we'll see you next time. So thank you all for listening. This was Hit or Miss. Shake a bake.
Adios, Felicia. Adios.
How do you turn this damn thing off?
Good eye, mate.
You gotta hit the go live off button.
Put the chimp on the Barbie.
It's your thing. Come on.
What do you mean? My thing.
But
shut up, be infringed.
We're on the chamber. Come on, it's your thing.
Shall not be infringed.
Shall not be infringed.
Pull the power cord out of the wall. That's a new one. That's a new one. Unplug the Ethernet cable. Turn the server off. I don't know. Let's just whatever. Game over, man. Game over.
Game over. With Midge. Wait a minute. What?